Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As you guys know, I'm Matty Best, joined by my wonderful co-host, Big Al Better. Today, we're talking about the Detroit Lions. Great team. You got Motor City Dan Campbell, MCDC. A little bit of changes here for the Lions this year. Lost their OC and their DC, also five or six secondary assistant coaches. So, I mean, obviously, you come in there with an OC, a DC. They have their own coaches too. When they leave, those guys leave with them. They bring them with them to wherever they go. So, a couple new faces here for the Lions. I don't know the OC, the DC's names. Don't really care about that. I care about how this team's going to look. I know there's question marks about how the offense is going to be. Are they still going to be, the most electric team in football? All these trick plays, all this cool stuff. Jared Goff pretending like he's tripping on a play to get a touchdown. It's ridiculous. Something like that. Obviously, defense is also a question mark too, just because the DC's gone too. That's what happens when you're a good team for so many years. You lose key pieces, especially when it comes to coaching. Those are usually the first guys to leave. Unless you go and win a Super Bowl, then you got to pay big contracts to defensive players, offensive players. You lose those pieces too. Thankfully, they didn't win a Super Bowl, but they lost the OCDC. But everything else is still the same on this team. Didn't really lose any offensive players. They still got Amon-Ra St. Brown, still got, their deep threat, JMO. They still got their, Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield. Those two running backs, great running backs there. Still got Jared Goff. Still got, obviously, the head coach. And defense, pretty much the same. They get Hutchinson back this year. So things are looking up, but also looking down at the same time when you think about the DC, the OC. But that's the outlook on the Detroit Lions. Big Al, what's the outlook on you? How are you doing today?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm excited to dive into the Lions here. Obviously, kind of like Packer fans, so they're the kind of the rivals. They're the team to beat in this NFC North. If you want to take the North, if you take the North, you instantly get in the playoffs. So that's always the goal. So they are the rivals to beat. So I'm excited to jump in this schedule, see how tough it is for them, and see if it's an easy path back to repeating as the North champs, or if it's going to be a little more difficult. Maybe they're opening the door for somebody.
And they might be too. I mean, last year they tried to open the door a little bit. You had the Vikings at 14 wins. You had the Packers. They had a great record last year too. You've had three teams right here with the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions. The Bears, nobody really cares about. We can kind of forget about them. They're kind of an afterthought. But you have these three teams that have all been there, kind of just on the cusp. Obviously the Lions have won it, but you have these other two teams with the Packers and the Vikings that have been sniffing and just been waiting there and just hey, when's it our turn, and which team will take this next step. We'll see. We'll go through the Lions schedule like we always do with every single team. As you guys know, we're doing this for every single team, so you got 32 videos coming out. It's a lot of work on our part. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it and like it. If you do, comment down below. Let us know what you think. Let us know who you guys' favorite team is. And if we're wrong, we're right, where you guys think. Obviously, you guys don't know if we're wrong or right. Neither do we. We're just giving you guys our honest opinions. Match that up against what the book has too. But without further ado, let's jump into it, dude. Week 1 against the Packers. This is going to be a great game. It's a road game on the road at the Packers. How do you see this game going? We'll jump into you first, then I'll give mine afterwards. That's how we'll do this video, a little back and forth. Go ahead, Big Al. What you got?
Absolutely. Yeah, at Green Bay week 1, absolute banger. It's going to be at 1:30. It should be America's game of the week, probably on Fox with Tom Brady on the call. We're going to go ahead and give the Detroit Lions an L here. I don't think they start the season going into Lambeau and taking out the pack, so give me an L for Detroit here.
All right, week 1. Big Al, obviously a little bit of bias there, but obviously I have a little bias too because I don't really like you that much, so I don't really like the Packers that much. I'm just playing everybody. Obviously we like each other a lot, but Packers I'm not really that high on. I'm going to take the Lions here in this game. I think they will be underdogs, probably by a decent amount too. I'm going to take the Lions on the road here week 1. I just think the Lions are more put together of a team. Obviously, you still have your OCs, DCs, all that kind of stuff, but I think the Lions kind of just get right back into stride. I like the week 1. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be electric in Green Bay. Give me the Lions to win this one. Start the season off hot.
Okay. That spread's 2.5 on DraftKings right now.
Okay, I actually like that spread a lot. I thought the Packers would be favored by a little bit more than that, like a 3.5, maybe a 4.5. But I kind of do like that just because the OC and DC issues. But all right, week 2, home game, first home game now against the Bears. What do you got here?
The Bears. Yeah, I've got Detroit winning this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's one of those things like the Bears. They might be good later on down the stretch, but they're not going to be able to beat the Lions team here week 2. I don't think that's going to happen. Just like you don't. Week 3, here we go on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. This one's a tough one.
Yeah, it's not that tough. We talk about it ad nauseum on this channel. Baltimore with Lamar has only lost twice to the NFC. I don't see that changing. I know Detroit was really good last year. I don't think we got to see Baltimore play that Detroit team. We got the Bills playing Detroit last year with Josh Allen. That was a super high scoring game.
Hmm.
That was awesome. But we didn't get to see Baltimore play Detroit. Um, to my knowledge, to my recollection, I don't think they get the job done. So I've got Baltimore winning this. So that is an L for Detroit.
I also have them taking their first L here. Like you said, it's Lamar Jackson. He doesn't lose to the other conference. He doesn't really care about him. He shows up, does his job, wins the game, goes home. So good win there for the Ravens. Moving on, week 4, we have a home game against the Browns. This one, I feel like you and I are just gonna be lockstep on this one.
Home game against the Browns. They take care of business. This one's not too difficult. We don't know what Cleveland's going to be. We're open to our minds being changed, but this going into the season, I think we're both kind of low fade the Browns, and so against a premier team in the NFC like this, I can't give them a loss to the Browns.
Exactly, and like you said, there's unknowns on the Browns, also unknowns on the Lions, because like we don't know. Like the Lions could just come out here and maybe just suck, and Ben Johnson was the magician there. Defense is just pitiful. You never know, but I'm gonna trust like what we've seen, and that's what we kind of have to go into this year with. Is like we've already seen the Lions do what they can do. We haven't seen the Browns really do anything in a couple years, or several years at this point. So, yeah. All right, next one, road game against the Bengals. This is a good one.
A dome team outside. Luckily, it'll only be like the beginning of October here, so it's not too cold.
Hmm.
I'm taking Cincinnati here. I don't see how Detroit can go in there and win in a firefight. I know, like last year, they were really good and they scored a ton of points, but I think since he's got their number, I think, yeah, give me Joe Burrow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of talk about this. I've talked about it a little bit when it comes to the Bengals, and my only thing is like Bengals will win every shootout that you want to be in if it's bad defense against bad defense, and then good. Like obviously the Bengals have one of the top tier offenses with Joe Burrow. I'm trusting the Detroit's defense here. I like them to actually go in. Like if this was obviously in like November, I would take the opposite side of this. But it's October, still gonna be kind of warm over there in Cincinnati. Give me the Lions to actually go into Cincinnati and win this game.
Wow.
I know, but
Okay.
like we've talked about, it's defense. Like if your defense can stop them, and I feel like the defense can stop Joe Burrow.
No defense stops Joe.
But I already know that no defense is stopping Jared. Their defense isn't stopping Jared Goff,
They don't have to. They're going to go score 50 points.
and the Lions will score 56.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Next game, Week 6, another road game against the Kansas City Chiefs. We might
You're going to play
disagree on this
Cincy,
one,
then right into Kansas City.
but
I
hey,
think they lose
thankfully
this
they
one.
won't. Thankfully they won't be beat up because Cincinnati doesn't have a defense. So it's not like they're going to be banged up in this defensive battle and then
Sure.
go and play this
Sure.
good team. Yeah.
Unless Cincy's defense is way better with this new defensive coordinator, but we're gonna have to see it to believe it. No, I've got Kansas City here. Kansas City only lost what 2 games all last season, or
Yeah.
was it just the one? They're still a premier team. They should still be favored. Yeah, I think Kansas City gets the job done here in Arrowhead. It's a tough place to play.
I believe Kansas City did lose 2 games, but that's because they already locked up the number 1 seed. So the
Right.
last game didn't matter. They lost to the Broncos, and they didn't even have any starters in there. Um,
Right.
this is going to be very arrogant of me and ignorant if I don't take the Chiefs here. And it's like I want to take the Lions here, but it's like it's a second road game in a row. I don't see it happening. Not in Arrowhead. It's starting to get a little bit colder, so give me the Chiefs here. Just I don't want to give them. I don't want to give the Chiefs a win here, just because I'm a little biased against the Chiefs. But that's fine. We'll give the Chiefs here. They are, and like that's the thing too, is like the Chiefs' defense is one of the best defenses in the league.
Legit.
So yeah,
It's legit.
give me that. Give me Patty Mahomes. If it's clutch time, this could be a 20-20 game, and Mahomes will have the ball at the end, and he'll get him either a field goal or a touchdown. So I like that there. Week 7.
Unless you have a teaser with $1,000 on the line, and then he does.
Then he'll lose by 10. But
yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, bitter.
Yeah, we'll move on. Yeah, we don't have to talk about that one. Week 7, home game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield and the boys come to town.
Yeah, I think they get the job done here. I love Tampa Bay. I love Baker. I love everything they're doing. We'll see what Tampa Bay is this year. They had a great season last year. Baker led the league in touchdown passes. But I do believe that, or he was right behind Joe. I thought
He was actually. I actually wanted to talk to you about that because we talked about
Oh,
this
did
the
you?
other day.
Yeah.
And I
Go
would
for it.
told you I was like, no, Baker was the leader and he led the league. That's not
Hmm.
true. Burrow did outpace him. I think he had 2 or 3 more than he did.
But Baker was second, right?
Baker was second, and Baker was leading a lot of the year
Absolute
until like
killer.
the last 3 weeks of the year. Baker kind of slowed down a little bit. Joe kept doing his thing, and yeah. So Joe
Just
Burrow
barely.
did lead the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. But
Gotcha,
Baker
gotcha,
did
gotcha.
have more rushing touchdowns. So total touchdowns, Baker did lead the league because he had like 6 rushing touchdowns, I think. And I don't think
Right.
Burrow had maybe 1 or 2. But so total touchdowns, Baker did win. But I know that we talked about that, so I just wanted to set the record straight there that I gave you bad information, hence why you said that. So that's on me, everybody.
Gotcha.
Continue.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I think I love Baker. I love the Bucks. I love what they're doing. But they also lost their OC. He went down to Duval, and so I think that there might be just some growing pains with that. So give me the Detroit Lions in this one at home against Tampa Bay, even though I really like the Bucks.
I do like the Bucks too, just like you were saying. I think we both love Baker now that he's a Buccaneer. Didn't really like him that much
I
on the
like
Browns. It was like, yeah, he
before.
was good, he was cool, but you liked him a lot longer than I have. But like as soon as he went to the Bucks, it's like, dude, this guy's like headbutting his teammates. They have helmets on,
He's a
and he
dog.
doesn't, and it's just like, dude, like that should like hurt a little bit. He's just like, dude, I
I was
don't
with the
care. I'm
Rams, but
just like,
whatever.
whatever. It doesn't matter. It's still he did that at some point, and then he went to the Bucks a year
Yes.
after. So yeah, give me like I do like Baker, but yeah, I got the Lions winning this one. Now week 8, a little bit later of a bye week that we've seen in the in the last couple of videos that we've done. But week 8's a
Yep.
bye week. Moving on, week 9, home game against the Vikings. Vikings come to town. What happens here?
I believe they get the job done coming off a bye. Everyone rested. MC has an extra week to prepare. I think they get the job done here against Minnesota.
I believe the same thing. It's like after a bye week with the team and with just the roster that they have, I don't see the Vikings coming in there and winning. And it's also a divisional game. Give me Jared Goff in a dome at home. Moving on,
Yep.
week 10. This is now a road game against the Commanders.
And what date's this? October? Late October?
November 9th.
November 9th.
They had
Okay,
the
so
bye
we're,
week
we're
in there,
really
so yeah,
we're
it's November
really
now.
in the cold now. Yeah, give me Washington here. I think Detroit takes the L. Washington should build off what they did last year with Brian Robinson, with Jaden Daniels. Hopefully, Terry McLaurin signs back with them. They get his situation handled. That defense was great. It was a good bend don't break defense that doesn't lose you games, and that's what you want. So and it'll be cold. Dome team outside, love it.
Yeah, I will say, like you said, just to piggyback off of you, their defense doesn't really necessarily win them games, but it doesn't lose them games, and that's why they have Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is the reason that they won so many games that they did last year. It wasn't the defense; it was Jaden Daniels and the defense giving him an opportunity to actually go and win that game. So, yeah, I like Washington here in this one. Like you said, it's the cold. It's like now that we're getting to this second half of the season, we know the stats of Jared Goff outside in the cold. He's not a great quarterback. He's actually a subpar quarterback. So, yeah, give me Washington here in this one.
Okay.
That's another loss for them. And then week 11 at the Philadelphia Eagles. I think we both know what we're thinking here because last time I checked, I don't think the Eagles play in a dome.
No, they don't. And we didn't get to see this matchup last year, which I think we were all hoping we'd get that playoff matchup
Yes.
of Detroit and Philly, and it just didn't happen. This game should be an absolute banger if both these teams are able to stay healthy this far into the season, but I do believe Philly gets the job done outside at their home.
I think the game will be a banger, but I think it'll be a banger as like the Super Bowl was last year. I don't think it's going to be close. If like you said, if both teams are fully healthy in this, it's going to be a Saquon day. I think even up against that defense, I think it will be still like a shootout because Jared Goff's going to have to do something. But it might just be a running back battle too in this one because Detroit has great running backs, and then you also got Saquon on the other side. So yeah, give me a slower paced game, but just a lot of like big runs and a game in the trenches for sure. But
Sure.
moving on, week 12, here we go. Home game against the Giants. What happens here, Al?
They get the job done against the New York Giants. Like we've talked about a little bit. We haven't done the Giants video yet, but we've been talking kind of about them. We don't really know what to expect. Rush should be pretty good, but what's that defense going to be? And then Malik Neighbors, we know he's good, but are we able to put things together and put some good teams away? I don't know, so I'm going to go ahead and give the dub here to Detroit.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm going to give Detroit a win here, too. My only thing with the Giants is, like, they just need, like, they have talent. I just don't think they have enough talent to be able to beat, like, the premier teams here. Like, middle of the pack teams, I think they have a good shot, especially if Russ can cook. Like, all that kind of stuff. It can happen. It's just, I don't think the defense is good enough, and I also don't think the offense has enough weapons to actually be able to, like you said, put away good teams. I just don't think that's going to happen. But then we have another home game. Here we go, week 13, Green Bay. What happens here, Al?
Green Bay comes to town. I have Detroit winning this one against the Packers in Ford Field. You get the home advantage. You're coming off that Giants game. You're going to need this game because it's important. It's divisional. You get up for these games. I think Detroit can handle business at home.
I agree with you right there too. So I do have Detroit sweeping the Packers. This
Yeah,
guy, of
that's
course,
completely not
this
right.
guy says that until it's like, oh wait, week one's over. Oh wait, how'd the Lions win? Yeah, and then we
We'll
both
see,
agree
won't
on
we?
this one. So, yeah, all right. So that's another win there for the Lions. Moving on, we have week
No, but
14.
you didn't say why. You didn't say really why Detroit will sweep Green Bay.
It's a home game. They're in a dome.
And
Like,
they
do
win
I
week
do I
one
have to,
because they're
like
outside
I
and
said, it's early. It's not going to be cold or anything. It's not going to
okay.
be cold, and I trust the Lions
New
because
offensive coordinator.
okay.
Okay, whatever,
I
whatever,
don't.
whatever.
Yeah, see,
Keep it
like
moving. Keep it
you're
moving.
stuck on
Keep it
this
moving.
because you're a Packers fan.
No, keep it.
If this
Keep it
was
moving.
any other team,
Keep
you
it
would
moving.
not have just like referenced that and like called back to it. All
I
right,
don't wait. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll
yeah, week
see.
14 on the or this one's another home game against the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys
Yeah,
come to town. What happens here?
I think they get the job done against Dallas. You're really high on Dallas. I'm not. I don't think Dallas is as good as you think they're going to be. So for that reason, I'm out, and I've got Detroit taking care of business against Dallas here.
Okay, thanks, Mark Cuban. I appreciate that. I actually have Dallas coming in and winning this game. This is gonna be a game that the Lions should win, but they lose, and it doesn't really make any sense. But they lost, and they move on. So yeah, there you go. Lost there for the Lions. Week 15 at the Los
Yep.
Angeles Rams.
At the Los Angeles Rams, Stafford, Goff, you know the situation. I think
Mm-hmm.
they take the L here. The Rams are going to be really good this year, and I think they're going to be able to get the job done against Detroit.
Would I shock you if I told you I actually agree with you on this one?
That would shock me.
Really? A road game
Yeah.
against Stafford? I think
Devontae
I
Adams.
think Stafford is kind of like undefeated against Goff, isn't he? Hasn't he like
No,
solidified that he's the number one and like he
I
was a
don't
better
think he's.
quarterback? I thought he did. I know that they played in the champs game one year, right? Or is that was a conference or divisional game?
Yeah, it was divisional. Or
Yeah,
it was
it was
there was a
divisional.
wild card
And
game.
Stafford won that game.
No, he lost that game.
I thought Stafford won that game.
No, because remember Puka had a huge game, but they still lost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But then Detroit lost in the next round.
To the Niners when the Niners went.
Yeah.
Niners went to the Super Bowl. All right, cool. That's fine. Yeah, I like the Rams to win this one. They're at home. I'll take that. All right, next one, Week 16. This
Back
one's a
at
tough
home.
one. Back at home. Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers comes to town. What happens here?
Yeah, we all know what happens here. Aaron Rodgers comes back to the NFC North, and Aaron Rodgers does what Aaron Rodgers does, which is run the NFC North, and he
lose.
will win this game. And he might throw a Hail Mary in this stadium like he did last time. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take Pittsburgh here to get the job done. I think Detroit loses this game.
All right, I have Detroit winning this game against Aaron Rodgers, an
Of
old
course you do.
crippling Aaron Rodgers, and
Yeah, and that Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, no, the Pittsburgh defense is great, but you got Jared Goff at home. Like, that's just, it's too good. All right, moving on. Week 17, on the road at the Vikings. What happens here?
On the road at the Vikings, I
Yep.
think they get the job done. I think they win this one.
On the road to the Vikings. I don't agree with that. I'm going to take the opposite. I think the Vikings are cooking right now. J.J. McCarthy is fully set. Yeah, Vikings win this game at home.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Week 18. Now,
Yep.
road game against the Bears.
Yep.
Yep. What happens here?
They lose.
They lose against the Bears.
Outdoors. I think Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson will be cooking at this point in the season. I think Detroit potentially is resting people if they are the winners of the division. That's one angle. And then, yeah, you've got an indoor dome team going to Chicago where it's freaking cold. I think they lose this game.
You have the classic Ben Johnson revenge game. Didn't get it earlier on in the season, but he gets it now at home. I like it too. Give me an L here for the Detroit Lions. And like we said, like they could be resting players or maybe not, but it's still Jared
So,
Goff out in the
just for
cold.
reference, folks, if you're paying attention at home, Matt has the Detroit Lions sweeping the Green Bay Packers, arguably the second best team, arguably the best team in this division.
Mhm.
But they trade with the other two teams that are inferior. Makes a lot of sense when you really think about it. Also, he says that at home Pittsburgh can't come in and win, but Dallas can come in and win. Also, we've got a lot of through lines coming through here.
No
that are
through
just
lines
totally
here.
keeping
No
things
through
in check
lines here.
Yeah,
No through lines. We've seen Aaron Rodgers not be that
Uh.
great. Dallas's defense isn't like top 10 or anything like that, but it is still good. Pittsburgh has a little bit better of a defense, but you also have Jared Goff at home. Who can keep up with him? I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be able to keep up with 40 points that the Lions drop. I don't see Aaron Rodgers doing that like at all. But I can see Dak Prescott and their team doing that. That's my only issue there. And I know that that makes sense too. If you really think about it, which obviously Big Al Better, he's not thinking about that. He's like, oh, the disrespect, like, you know, they beat the Packers twice. Like, yeah, okay, relax, dude. They did it last year too, didn't they?
Yes, last year when they had their OC.
What changed? Last time I checked, Packers team hasn't really changed except for Matthew Golden, and for the Lions, they're still doing the same thing. The Lions are doing the same thing that they were doing the years before. So
listen.
If you look at stats and you look at last year, it's not actually being disrespectful to the Packers. It's like, hey, Packers, show me that you can actually beat the Lions, and then maybe I'll change my mind.
You've got Chicago beating them and Minnesota beating them, but Green Bay doesn't have a chance. Nope, they're going to lose twice. But Minnesota, sure, they'll beat them with a rookie quarterback.
It's week 1 against Green Bay. Nobody cares about that game. And Lions are going to come out hotter than Green Bay. Lions are
we'll find out. We're going to find out. And
I'm going to be all overheated.
And I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to be like, that's what you were thinking. Yep. All right, you've got them going 9-8 on the season. I've got them going 8-9.
Okay, and that's actually not bad because the other couple teams that we've done has been a little bit different.
Why don't you tell the fine people at home what the book has for their numbers?
All right, book for the Lions is 10.5. So we're both on the under there. The over 10.5 wins is at plus 110, and then the under 10.5 wins is at minus 130. So we would both be on the over or on the under there at minus 130, which honestly isn't a bad bet if you think about it. And I don't like that's the thing is like we've talked about this when we've been doing this division, right? This is our third team in this division that we've done so far. And it's like we've talked about this. And the one division that they have to play in the AFC is tough. You have to play against Lamar Jackson, who doesn't lose to the NFC. So there's a loss right there for pretty much every team in this division. In our opinions, like we haven't gone to the Packers yet, but we'll talk about that one. You have the Ravens, okay? Then you have the Bengals, okay? Then you have the Steelers. And like that's a tough game. I gave them a win in this, but it's like still like those aren't easy teams to do. We don't even know what the Steelers will be with Aaron Rodgers. And then you have the Browns. That's kind of like a whatever. Who cares about that? But like you have good teams and good matchups. You have to play against the Eagles. Like that's not easy to do. That's not an easy game. That's not a win. That's pretty much a loss on everybody's bingo card too. So definitely tough divisions. I was thinking that I'd have the Lions probably at 11, maybe even 12 wins. Last year I think I had them at like 13 or 14. So that one rang true. But this year just is a little bit different. You got moving pieces, different teams, and all of that. So with that being said, that's where Allen has them. That's where I have them. Pretty much around the same, 9-8, 8-9. We'll see when the season actually happens, how it progresses, all of that. Obviously, all we know is that week 1, the Lions will win that game against Green Bay. So that's fine. Don't worry about that. But if you guys did like the video, like the little banter that me and Big Out got going here, we're gonna be having videos all of August. We'll have videos all throughout the whole entire football season, NFL, and like obviously this is kind of like a snapshot of what we do because right now we're just giving you one bet. That's just a line that the games are set at. And we're just giving you the over/under and where we're at on them. During the regular season, we got parlays, we got touchdown scorers, we got teasers, we got straight bets too. Like we got our picks for the day. Like we have so many things that we do. So stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you're doing. Other than that, Big Al, anything else you want to add to that before we wrap this video up?
No, I think you wrapped that up pretty succinctly.
Exactly. Like we say on this, don't forget and always remember. Protect the bag, beat the book. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.